Good morning, folks. My name is David Cohen, Vice President of Operations for PFL. We hope that everyone had a fantastic weekend. For our Canadian friends who are most likely not watching today's podcast live, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, and we hope that all have a blessed day with family and friends. The Dow closed lower on Friday of last week, down 630 points, or 2.11%. Closing out the week at 29,296 points, down 194.1 points week over week. The S&P closed lower on Friday of last week, down 104.86 points, or 2.8%, and closed out the week down 38.77 points week over week. The Nasdaq closed lower on Friday of last week, down 420.91 points, or 3.89%, down 163 points week over week. In overnight trading, Dow futures traded lower and are expected to open down this morning by 48 points. Oil prices rallied on Friday of last week to 5-week highs, trading up every single day last week. WTI was up last week by 17% week over week. The rise in crude was on the back of OPEC's decision to make its largest supply cut since 2020 of 2 million barrels per day. The U.S. expressed disappointment with the decision for OPEC Plus, announcing the cutting of crude production, and are looking at all alternatives to reduce prices. Hopefully not selling more of our strategic reserves. We all know how much that helped last time. Both crude contracts, WTI and Brent, had their highest close since August, and heating oil futures also rallied last week to its highest close on record due to low inventory going into the heating season. WTI traded up $4.19 per barrel to close at $92.64 on Friday of last week. This is up $13.15 per barrel week over week. U.S. commercial crude oil inventories decreased by 1.4 million barrels week over week. U.S. crude oil inventories are 3% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Total motor gasoline inventories decreased by 4.7 million barrels week over week and are 9% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Distillate fuel inventories decreased by 3.4 million barrels week over week and are 21% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Propane and propylene inventories increased by 1.6 million barrels week over week and is at the 5-year average for this time of year. Folks, with inventories rising to the 5-year average, propane prices have been coming off hard as of late. Propane prices were down 10 cents per gallon week over week, closing at 87 cents per gallon on Friday of last week, which is off a whopping 60 cents per gallon year over year. Oil is higher in overnight trading, and WTI is poised to open up 36 cents a barrel from Friday's close. Total North American weekly rail volumes were down 3.4%. in week 39 compared with the same week last year. 7 of the AAR's 11 major traffic categories posted year-over-year decreases, the most significant decrease coming from grains, which were down 11.729%. The largest increase was from motor vehicles and parts, which were up 17.9%. North American rig count was down 1 rig week over week. U.S. rig count was down by 3 rigs week over week, but still up by 229 rigs year over year. The U.S. currently has 762 active rigs. Canada's rig count was up by 2 rigs week over week, and up by 48 rigs year over year. Canada's overall rig count is 215 active rigs. Overall, year over year, we are up 277 rigs collectively. Folks, we have a few things to share with you. On Thursday of last week, there was a vote on who was going to be the next Premier of Alberta. This position is like the governor of a state here in the U.S. The former premier, Jason Kenney, whose ambition was to be the next prime minister of Canada, was a bit of a federalist. He put the country first at the expense of Alberta, no matter what the cost was to its citizens. The people of Alberta did not like this, and he was forced to resign, and a new leader for Alberta emerged. That leader is Danielle Smith. You may want to compare her to Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, who puts the state of Florida first. Things in Alberta are going to change really fast. She will have a massive impact on Alberta's oil and gas production and crude by rail for that matter, opening the taps. Justin Trudeau, the current leader of Canada, will not be able to push Alberta around anymore, at least that is the word on the street. Read all about it in today's Rail Report. We are watching this one. Folks, we do these reports for you, and they are completely free. Please pass on to friends and colleagues. Not only do we dive into more detail as discussed in today's podcast, we also summarize the latest petroleum by rail numbers, talk about refinery runs, overall petroleum import and export numbers, and more. It's also the time of the month that we report on key market indicators, including consumer sentiment, consumer spending, and more. We have 15 graphs and charts to share with you today with our commentary. And of course, we have the latest pricing for all railcar types. You can't afford not to read this week's Rail Report. Folks, we are also looking for work here at PFL. For railcar cleaning, repair, and flaring, call PFL now. You won't regret putting us to work. We will guarantee to save you money and time. We specialize on return on lease strategies. If we can't save you, the car owner, or the lessee money, we simply won't take on the job. It is that simple. Our number on the desk, of course, is 239-390-2885. We hope that everyone has a great, safe week, and thanks for tuning in.